Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Bite Size Nutrition Podcast. I'm Jillian, and today we are going to talk about why your morning mirror check needs to stop. And I want to tell you a story because without fail, every single morning for years, I would wake up and I would stand in front of my bathroom mirror. I would turn to the side, I would flex my abs as hard as I could, and I would squeeze my lower belly. Even when I was so incredibly lean that I didn't have a period and you could count my abs, I still had that lower belly pooch. It is just a part of my physiology. It's a part of my body. But for so long, looking at that pooch, judging it every single morning was like this thing in my head where it was just a constant reminder of I'm not good enough. My body isn't good enough. I should have a flatter stomach. And I didn't realize this back then when it was such a habit for me to do this over and over. But my daily belly pooch check was a body checking behavior. And it was a huge contributor to how I felt about my body and my appearance, and by extension, how I felt about myself. And so, body checking is a term for any behavior we do to gather information about our body size, shape, or appearance. Body checking is the various ways that we judge how we look and how we feel about how we look on a daily basis. So it's the things that we do where we're essentially just judging ourselves. And we don't usually body check to be like, look how great I look, or I feel great about myself. We usually body check to say, like, am I okay? Is this acceptable? Right? And so I want you to put a finger down if you have done any of these body checking behaviors in the last 7 days. Judge how you look in photos. So, like looking at a photo and staring at your flaws and maybe comparing that photo to another photo. Fixating on certain body parts in the mirror. Frequently checking how you look in the mirror to see if you look okay. Pinching or squeezing body fat. Comparing your body to other people or comparing your body to your body, comparing your current body to your body in different moments of your life. Taking measurements of your body, weighing yourself obsessively, feeling for either bones or muscles, anxiously assessing the fit of your clothing, or taking frequent progress photos. And some of these, you might hear them and be like, but these things are like normal, right? Well, they're not necessarily normal. They're just incredibly common. And it's even common to sit around with your girlfriends while each of you are judging how you look in photos, or to stand in front of the mirror when you're all in the bathroom together, each of you judging how you look. Remember that scene? If you're a millennial like me, you probably have seen Mean Girls 1,000 times. And remember that scene in Mean Girls where like Regina George and then her other little minions, they're all looking in the mirror and they say something that they hate about their bodies. And then Lindsay Lohan is like, I guess my nail beds kind of suck, where she's essentially like, Lindsay Lohan's character had never participated in body checking. She didn't even realize that that was a thing. And remember how great her confidence was? Yeah, that's the thing, is that body checking triggers a threat response. And when we feel threatened, we want to protect ourselves. But the ways in which we protect ourselves from threat often make things worse. Here's an example. I want you to think about the last time you pinched your body fat. What did you think next? You might have thought, I should really eat less chocolate. Maybe I should spend more time in the gym. I shouldn't have eaten dessert last night. I really need to do something about this before summer. Maybe you had thoughts that were even more harsh than that. I'm disgusting. No one's ever going to want this. I'm gross. And when you have these thoughts, what do? You might try to restrict what you eat. You may recommit to a new diet. Often this leads to emotional overeating or struggles with food. You might try to hide your body with specific items of clothing. You might retreat from social connections. There's an interesting statistic. I don't have this written down. I should. But there's a statistic where a really surprising amount of women have avoided social interactions or said no to social events because of how they feel that they look. And so that's one of the consequences of this threat response is we try to protect ourselves by hiding. You might even reiterate to yourself that, yeah, I should be insecure. So all of these ways that we try to protect ourselves actually lead to us feeling worse, and we reinforce this negative cycle. And it's understandable that you feel this way. It's understandable that you feel threat, or you feel anxious, or you feel angry or scared or frustrated or insecure when you inspect your body and you look at your body and you're like, it's not up to some arbitrary standard of what I think my body should look like. But the question is it functional for you to continue to judge your body this way? Is it helping you move towards the kind of person you want to be? Or is continuing to judge your body keeping you stuck in this cycle of not actually being who you want to be in the world? It's keeping you in the cycle of fear, of anxiety, of insecurity. And I want you to know you are so not alone in thinking this way or experiencing this. This is something I struggled with myself for years, and body checking specifically is a topic that I help pretty much every single one of my coaching clients work through during the coaching process. And the good news is this is a cycle that you can break. You cannot control what your body looks like. As much as people on the internet are like, you can sculpt and mold and shape your body. Yeah, you can get Botox and fillers and all of these things. Yes, so to a certain extent, you can change what your body looks like. But even if you change what your body looks like and you do not address how you act towards your body and how you think about your body, you will still continue to be stuck in this cycle. It's why this is something that happened to me. This is something I've talked to many, many women about of, hey, I lost the weight, but I still am criticizing myself. I'm finding new flaws, even though my body is different. I had this like a month where I felt great, and now I'm just being just as critical as I used to be, but in a different body. And you have full control of how you act towards your body. And how you act towards your body has a huge influence in how you feel about your body. And here's a fun fact. When you feel more positively about your body, naturally, you're more inclined to treat your body with respect and care. It's this cycle that repeats itself. You treat yourself with respect and care, you feel more positively about your body, and then you want to treat it with more respect and care. It starts to feel more natural. And what we know from body image research is that a positive body image, regardless of size or shape, is associated with healthier eating behavior, better social connections, reduced disordered eating behaviors, reduced eating disorders, and better overall mental well-being. Some studies have even shown it reduces anxiety and depression. And that is positive body image, not I've changed my body and now I like how I look more. Positive body image is more about what's going on in our heads than it is about what our bodies actually look like. And so let's talk about one of the easiest ways to get started with shifting how you act towards your body, with shifting how you feel towards your body. And that is reducing, replacing, or eliminating body checking. And specifically, we're going to start really, really specifically with the morning body check. How often do you wake up, you squeeze your belly, you step on the scale, you inspect yourself in the mirror? How often do you start out your day already having judged your body multiple times? Think about it. By the time you are ready for work, you're like, I've already judged my body how many times? And so tomorrow you're going to wake up and you are not going to do that. Instead, if you want, you're going to look in the mirror, you're going to smile at yourself. You're going to put on an outfit you know you like, and you are going to get on with your day. And you're going to notice how often you look in the mirror. You're going to notice how often you have an urge to inspect a photo of yourself. You're going to notice when you have the urge to squeeze a body part. And I want you to ask yourself, who actually benefits from me doing this? And the goal is not to never look at yourself in the mirror. It's not to avoid taking photos of yourself by any means. The goal here is to be aware of when this need to control your body or check your body comes up, and actually choose how you interact with your body. And eventually you get to a point where looking in the mirror isn't about judgment, it's about seeing yourself. It's about making sure that you don't have lipstick on your teeth or toothpaste on your face, or your hair's not sticking up at the back. And eventually you get to a point where you look in the mirror and you think, hey, that's me. I like me. Like I like me as a human. And that's reflected back at you. It's a point where you don't look in the mirror and see your individual body parts. You don't look in the mirror and see your body fat or your cellulite. You see you. And this, waking up tomorrow morning and not body checking, getting on with your day, is one step in the process. But it's an important step, and it's a step that you can start as soon as possible. I have a guide that walks you through some very specific little steps that I call the ADAPT framework that can help you with the noticing of unhelpful body thoughts, can help you with the urge to body check. And this framework can help you take actions that align with your values and the kind of person you want to be instead of taking actions that support your insecurities. And this is a process that I work through with all of my coaching clients, and I wanted to share it with you because it's a really powerful process that you can do. And you're going to find a link for that in the show notes for this episode. If you would like to write me on Instagram and let me know which body checking behavior you will not be participating in anymore, I would love to hear that. And if you'd like further support to build self-trust with your body, overcome your unhelpful eating habits, that is exactly what I help you do in one-on-one coaching. You can find details on one-on-one coaching in the show notes if you just want to check it out, see what it's all about. And when you look at the page that details one-on-one coaching, you can actually contact me directly so we can set up a call if you'd like to chat further. So with that, if there's anyone that needs to hear this today, please go ahead and send them this episode. I have heard recently from a few people who have said, hey, so-and-so sent me your podcast, and I really appreciate it. So you could do that for someone, and that would be awesome. It's also I really appreciate it because it helps people find these episodes. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening, and I will see you again here next time.